Most pesticides were chemical derivatives of old World War I and World War II era nerve gas agents. The medical research has shown that pesticide exposure can be associated with a whole variety of adverse health impacts. Pesticides affect the conduction of nerve impulses in nerves, and that's actually the main mechanism by which they kill insects. Insects have basically the same biology, at least the cells of insects have the same biology as humans do. And a nerve cell in an insect is very similar to a nerve cell in a human being. So if insects are affected by these pesticides and they are actually killed by them, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand that in fact the nerve cells of human beings could be affected as well. School-age children shouldn't be exposed to pesticides at all, ever. To mothers who are exposed to more pesticides during the pregnancy or after birth, children that are exposed to more pesticides show various forms of brain dysfunction. The health outcomes can happen almost regardless of when the exposure occurs. And it's very possible that any one particular person may be experiencing some sort of thought impairment, emotional impairment, mood disorder as a result of that kind of an exposure. So one of the ways that pesticides can affect health is by changing epigenetics or gene expression, meaning certain genes are turned on or off that shouldn't be, that then have an effect that may show up 20 or 30 years down the road, such as the development of cancer.
There are many definitions of integrated pest management. So we basically eliminate their, food, shelter, and water, from inside a building. And then we also try to exclude them from coming in the first place. And then so you basically create an environment that's inhospitable to pests, and they don't want to be there. And then you don't have to use the chemicals. That's the whole idea behind IPM. But it works great on preventing and catching early things like bed bugs and cockroaches and mice and those major health pests that we have here. It's been proven over and over again that the integrated approach is the best way to go about it. We're working on a curriculum to train all the school districts in the state how to implement an IPM program and practice IPM. And we're also developing curriculum and workshops for the local health department officials who do inspections in schools to be able to recognize and enforce the rule. And we'll do that this fall. Typically, IPM programs at the beginning take a little bit of extra money to get going because we're doing maintenance things. So we're replacing door sweeps and sealing cracks and crevices and fixing different things around buildings to help exclude pests from coming in. But they also have the side benefit of, also reducing energy costs. So for heating and cooling, if you have good door sweeps in, one, you can keep mice and other pests out, but two, you also keep the hot air in the winter and the cold air in the summer. I think the perception of it is generally negative by people who don't understand completely what it is. Just pay a little bit of extra attention to those areas where pests can hide and thrive, and clean those areas a little bit better, and that's pest control right there. So a lot of what IPM is can be integrated into what schools already do. And there was a administrative rule passed by the Department of Health, and it actually mandates the use of integrated pest management now. And again, that is emphasizing non-chemical techniques first, only using pesticides when absolutely necessary. So I'm not sure if we're on target for that yet, but we're going to do the best we can in Utah to try to get the school districts on board this year.